Hello everyone, this is T-34 here, and welcome back to another Minecraft World War II vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going ahead and building the T-34, model 1941. The T-34 is a Soviet medium tank from World War II. When introduced, its 76.2mm 3-inch tank gun was more powerful than many of its contemporaries, and its 60-degree sloped armor provided good protection against anti-tank weapons. The T-34 had a profound effect on the conflict on the Eastern Front and had a long-lasting impact on tank design. The tank was praised by multiple German generals when encountered during Operation Barbarossa. Although its armor and armament were surpassed later in the war, its main strength was its cost and production time, meaning that German panzer forces would often fight against Soviet forces several times their own size. The T-34 is a critical part of the mechanized divisions that form the backbone of the deep battle strategy. The T-34 model 1941 is the main production version. That was pretty much the first version to go into wide-scale production. There was a T-34 model 1940, which only saw about 400 units made, but the 41 was the variant that saw widespread production and use throughout the war. Now, with that, that's pretty much all I want to talk about with the tank. Just a few things, a quick mention before we jump into the tutorial. The first thing being is that if you are on Java, we will be using a few different blocks here to help us with the build. The first is going to be the use of invisible item frames, and that command will be popping up on screen now. You may have to do a little bit of research depending on your version. Sometimes they switch around. It's kind of weird, especially with 1.20. It seems like every version of 1.20 has a different command for it, so you may have to just do a little research on what command is going to work for your version, but we will be using invisible item frames throughout this build. We will also be using the Debug Stick, so if you are, again on Java, the Debug Stick will be a tool we'll be using to modify some block properties here and there, so definitely grab that if you can. With that though, that's going to wrap up everything for this little intro here, and let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and move it into our first layer here. We will be going ahead and start with layer 1. As you guys can probably tell, I am using a resource pack, and I will be putting a link for this resource pack down in the video description, but it's a pretty nice resource pack. Just kind of modifies a few block properties to really just kind of make them more match with other blocks. Right here you can see we have some prismarine we're using throughout the build. Instead of being a darker color, it's more of a lighter color, so it blends really well with the green terracotta. But that's really the only difference you're going to see here with this resource pack compared to just default, so shouldn't be anything too crazy. Now with that, let's go ahead and get started here. Now the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up our tracks. So we're going to place down a deep slate tile upside down stair, and then behind that we're going to place down a polished blackstone full block, 2 polished blackstone stairs back to back, another polished blackstone full block, another 2 polished blackstone stairs back to back, and another polished blackstone full block. After that is all done, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves some deep slate, and we're going to place down a deep slate block right here in the ground. And then we want to go ahead and place down a deep slate wall on the end here. And then for my resource pack, I have mossy stone brick that I'm going to use here. If you're not using my resource pack, I'd recommend just using the prismarine instead. And then we're going to place down an item frame here on the side. We'll be using an invisible item frame if you're on Java. And we're going to place down a cobweb in it like so. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, and 3 dark oak trapdoors from that wall. And then grabbing our prismarine. So my shader, or my texture pack, it's dark prismarine. I think it's just regular prismarine normally. But we're going to go ahead and place down basically rows of 3, going all the way across, so starting from the dark oak trapdoors. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 rows going across here. And then we're going to place down a row of dark oak trapdoors across the front. We're going to repeat the same process just over here to this side. So again, just the same process. And I'm going to go ahead and do this a little bit quicker, as I've already covered in detail on the other side how to go ahead and do it. So just like that, and then we have our back here, which again will be done like this. We have our item frame, we have our cobweb in the item frame, and then we have our wall. So again, just like that. Now, once that's all finished there, we're going to go and grab ourselves normal item frames, and we're going to place down item frames on the full blocks here of polished blackstone. In those item frames, we're going to place down green stained glass panes, and then we're going to place down a dark oak button on the side there of those blocks. Same thing will be done over here on this side. And again, the dark oak button here is only be able to be added if you're on Java. Unfortunately, you can't place down item frames and blocks in the same block space, or in buttons in the same block space, if you are not on Java. So any Bedrock versions, unfortunately, you will not be able to do that. Then over here on this side, we're going to go and go to these two stairs here, and we're going to go ahead and be making this banner design. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how to make the banner in the loom. It's pretty straightforward, but basically all we're going to do is we're going to take two green banners. We're going to do a black vertical line splitting the banner in half on the left side for one banner, and the black horizontal line splitting the banner in half on the right side for the other, and then just black horizontal lines for the exact center, and it's going to create these two banners here. Really straightforward stuff, and you'll be placing these on the side here of these stairs with the green portion pointing toward one another. So again, just like that. And once we have that all set up there, that's going to basically wrap up everything we have here for layer number 1 of the build. Here again is a top-down view of what that should look like. And with that, we'll be moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to place down a flower pot here to both sides, as well as a dark Goku trapdoor here in the middle. Going back from the middle space here, we're going to place down another dark prismarine slab, and then we're going to go and then place down a mossy stone brick stair on the left side here. If you're on Java, using this resource pack. If you're not using this resource pack, I'd recommend just a normal prismarine stair that matches the main body. Then we want to go ahead and place down a stair here. So we're going to place down another prismarine stair here. And we're going to go ahead and place down a item frame that's going to come off these two stairs. So if you're on Java, we can place down item frames in this space right there. And then in those item frames, we're going to go ahead and place down snowballs. So you get that nice design there for the front. And then also, again, we can place down an item frame on the side here of this trapdoor. And in that item frame, we're going to place down a chain. So just like that to show the coaxial machine gun. So that's what that's going to look like there. And then we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to place down a row of 3 behind these blocks just like that. And then using our debug stick here, we're going to go ahead and right click the stair and change the shape of it like that to go ahead and form this design here for the section where the coaxial machine gun comes out. So a little bit of modifying there with these properties on Java, but nothing too crazy. We're going to go then place down a prismarine stair to both sides like so. And then we can go ahead and place down green beds in this section here. So if you're for all versions, we can just place down the beds like that. If you're on Java, we can actually rotate these beds. So we're going to rotate the base here, and then we can delete the pillow here, and we can then place down another bed like this. And again, same thing, we'll just rotate it with our debug stick and delete the top half, and then we can rotate these around so they are facing something like this here. And we'll rotate this like that to the side and like that. And you can see it kind of creates this cool design there for the fenders. The normal bed will work still. It's just the green. By doing this, we get rid of that little white portion there on the bed. So just something to keep in mind. Anyways, so after that, we're going to place down another row of 3 of green terracotta. Then a second, third, 4, 5, and 6 rows going back. So it looks like this. And along the sides here, we're going to place down some prismarine stairs like so. Then on the back, on top of these walls, we're going to place down a corner stair of the prismarine. And then we want to place down a polished black stone wall to both sides here and another dark prismarine, or another prismarine stair there in the center. Then we'll use our debug stick here. We'll go to these walls, and we're going to go ahead and extend these walls so that they connect up to the top slab right there. So again, if applicable, you'll do that on both sides there to kind of flush out the tracks a little bit. Now for a little bit of detail on the siding of the tank, we're going to place down a item frame here, and we're going to place down a chain in it sideways. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves some spruce signs, and we're going to place down spruce signs here along the sides as well for some, extra logs or cargo or whatever they would strap to these tanks. And then we'll place down another item frame and chain. So like that on this side. And the other side here, we're going to go ahead and use tools. So we'll go ahead and place down 2 item frames on the second and third stair, and we'll just place down a iron axe and shovel in like that for some tools mounted on the side of the tank. So just some simple little stuff there to add some detail to the sides, but really nothing too crazy. And if your stair did change, make sure you go ahead and modify that back to the corner stair we had before if you need to. Anyways, though, that's going to wrap up everything we have for layer 2. Here again is a top-down view of what that should look like. And with that, we'll be moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we move it into layer 3. For layer 3 to start with, we're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this one right here on the front. Or actually, sorry, my bad. It's actually going to be a wall here. So let me grab that. It's going to be a mossy cobblestone wall. Then we're going to place down a green terracotta block behind it, and then to the sides we're going to place down a upside down prismarine stair to both sides of this green terracotta block, and then an upside down corner stair going forward from it. On the sides of the normal stair we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign, and then we want to go ahead and place down a upside down piston that's going to be coming off this wall. So again, my Java players will place down an upside down piston like so, and if you're not on Java, instead of a piston here, I would recommend a prismarine top slab. And then we're just going to place down 3 dark oak wood trapdoors going forward like that for the main gun. Now on the right side here of the turret, we're going to place down a chain, and on the other side here, we'll place down a dark oak wood sign on the side of whatever block we have here. Also, if you're on Java, we'll place down an item frame on top of this stair. It'll just be the invisible item frame, and we're going to place down a green bed in the item frame like that for that design there. So pretty straightforward. Once that's all done, going ahead and go into the back of the turret, we're going to place down another green terracotta block, another prismarine stair upside down to both sides, and a dark oak wood sign on the side there of these stairs like so. Then we're going to place down another green terracotta block in the center here. We'll place down a dark prismarine stair like this to both sides, and then we're going to place down a row of mossy stone brick blocks. Again, I would just use normal prismarine if you are on the default pack, and we're going to place down a second row of 3 after that. If you're also on Java, we're going to go ahead and use our debug stick here. We'll change the shape of this stair so it's a corner stair, so it fits in that space real nicely there. Again, not a huge priority that needs to be done, but something that just is a nice little touch there to make things look better. Then we're going to place down a row of 3 of deep slate slabs, as well as another item frame and a green terracotta block in the item frame. So that right there is going to basically wrap up what we have going on there. And the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to place down an iron bar on top of this bed here, and we're going to go ahead and go up 2 more for the radio antenna. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 3 of the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 4. Alright guys, moving into our final layer here, we have layer number 4. For layer 4, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a row of trapdoor or daylight detectors across the top of the trapdoors, and make sure you do close them if they decide to open up on you. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 prismarine slabs back, and then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some end portal frames, and we're going to place down 2 end portal frames back from those. We then want to place down a zombie head at a slight angle to both sides. So it's not going to be like a full-on 45-degree angle, but just a very slight one. And then on the right side here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate. On this fence gate, we're going to place down an item frame, and then we want to place down a green bed in the item frame, rotated sideways, like so. On the other side here, we're going to place down a dark prismarine stair, and we're going to place down another item frame and do the same thing, a green bed, like that, sideways in it. We then want to place down a skeleton skull, just straight on like so, and then behind this, we're going to place down another skeleton skull. This one's going to be about at a 45-degree angle here in the corners. And then on the very back here, we're just going to place down a normal zombie head like that, and that's going to form this design here for the turret. Now we'll take our debug stick, and we're going to go ahead and set this fence gate in the wall to true, so it's going to kind of lay down more flat and even with the top here of the turret. And also we're going to go ahead and go to this end portal frame, right click this, set and add the eye to it. And then also the stair right here, we're going to go ahead and change the shape of it so it looks like this here. So we form that corner stair design. But anyways, once you have that all complete there, that's going to wrap up everything I have here for the T-34. Last thing real quick is for my Java players, again, we'll right click that piston on the bottom there to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion. But that right there is going to wrap up my design here for the T-34 model 1941. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this design and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do have to say you guys give me proper credit for it. This could be a thing from a side of the build, tweet to my channel, or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free as a favorite project you guys are working on. Other than that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gary2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.